She's a vendor.
Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to another great episode of Wealth for Generations. Yes, we have a special one for you today, as we always do. But today we're going to be sitting down with these two beautiful ladies right here. We're going to be talking about some motherly stuff today, getting some real insight from the mom point of view. So, we are going to be sitting here with Miss Jessica Marrero. And hold on just a second. Kind of. There we go.
Wasn't he just
There we
rushing us?
Okay. This is the pre introduction here. Yeah. So we got Jessica Marrero gonna be hanging out with us, along with Miss Leonie Reese is gonna be hanging out with us as well. So round of applause for that. Round of applause indeed. Yes. How are we feeling today, ladies?
Great. Thank you.
Awesome. Glad that you guys could make the time to hang out with us today. Are you guys excited for a great episode?
Oh, yes. As always.
Yes. So if you guys are tuning in today we are going to be hanging out with these two ladies, and the topic of the show is raising women in 2025. How is that? How is that kind of stuff, you know? Some of these people don't know. We got some of these new adults out here who might be scared.
It is
Stir
scary.
fried, they're scared. They don't know what's to come.
Run. Oh my gosh.
Yes, today we'll be talking with some real moms on some real talk and some real stuff. With a little bit of real wine, it looks like, too.
Yes.
So today, this one's not about me talking. I'm going to be the engineer today, the guy behind the scenes, behind the questions. I got the belt for today. James let me borrow it. I'm not necessarily the reigning champ, but I'll be sitting in today as the engineer of all engineers. Let's get a little round of applause for me. We just get a little one for Elijah. That's all. But up front and center stage, we do have these two powerhouse women, two moms who are out here doing work, raising queens in the wild, wild west. Wi-Fi run world. First up, we have Miss Jessica Marrero, holistic wellness queen, community builder, mind, body, soul kind of mama. Jessica is all about energy, intention, and she's been out here raising her daughter with awareness and love, but also keeping it real. Don't let the crystals fool you. She'll drop a gem and boundary in the same sentence. Same thing. Hey, Camilla. Hey, we're in Paradise Valley, Arnav. Hot water. I'll get it. And then number 2, we got Miss Leonie, super mom of 5, gym rap, real world warrior. She is a little shy with the mic sometimes. Sometimes she's getting better though. She's getting better. But when it comes to her kids, her standards, or her sense of humor, she's got it in the bag. Leonie brings the everyday mom perspective that'll have you laughing, nodding, and maybe even questioning your own mom methods here and there.
Or crying. No. Just kidding.
So let's give another round of applause for these two powerhouse women moms right here.
Thank you.
Okay, so if all you guys are ready to get this started, let's get this started. So today, we're going to be popping into the real life insight of moms in 2025. let's just go ahead and get on into it. What would you say was your biggest fear when when your daughters first started becoming teens?
Hmm.
Okay, so I was worried, just about like other teen girls being mean, or just like in high school and stuff like that. Because it's like
Yeah.
a different world out there when you don't know how other people parent their children and things like that. Because she's such a sweetheart.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, let me see, with Alyssa, I don't know that I had any like real fears as far as her becoming a teen. Just more so guiding her to not be taken advantage of because she's so nice, you know? So just kind of gently guiding her to have good boundaries. And she's always really been able to stick up for herself, which is good. But there were times where she would share stories with me, and I'm like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
And then just being able to explain it to her. But I'm pretty fortunate with her because she's the third child, so she's kind of seen trial and error with my older kids, even though they're not girls. But she's learned a lot just from, you know, watching me be a mom for, before her. So
Yeah.
she wasn't the experimental
Right.
child.
She wasn't the first one.
Yes, exactly.
You
Exactly.
learn as you have more in the years go on.
Yes, yes.
So, what would you
Definitely.
guys say if your teenage daughter had to describe your parenting in 3 words?
Okay, so I asked Shael. I did.
Oh, you did?
I asked all the kids actually, but Shael, loving, kind, and annoying.
So you're doing your job
Yes,
perfectly.
you got I was like, perfect.
I was just thinking of something that Alyssa had said to me multiple times, and she was like, "You just know stuff." So I think that it kind of rolls into what I was saying with her seeing me already be a mom with the boys and just kind of sitting back, that she has learned to really just trust me and my judgment. And if I'm like, oh no, that's a red flag, like she actually takes it serious and into consideration, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why she's always like, you just know things. Because I'll say something. I'm like, oh, it's so and so, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, how did you know that? I'm like, because I can just tell. And she's like, oh my God. So I don't know if that's necessarily a parenting style, but she thinks I'm a cool mom. So I guess that's good.
So, what's one thing that you said that you would never do that your mom did that you actually catch yourself doing now?
Oh. Nothing. Nothing.
Oh, it looks like Leonie might have one though.
No, because I was thinking about this. You sent the stuff, and I'm like thinking, like, nothing, really. And I love my mom,
doing
but
better.
Yes. I was like, no.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Man. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, because what I really learned from my mom mostly, I mean, I did get good work ethic from her, but as far as being a mom, I really learned what not to do. So, yeah.
What's something about being a mom that you feel like you might have been able to have a warning? Maybe a warning about how bad those diapers might get.
I didn't get any warnings.
No warnings.
No. Nope.
No. I'm saying, is there any that you wish you did?
Oh, that's kind of a hard question, I think, because every child is so different. So maybe about breastfeeding, because that shit hurts.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know. That's a tough one.
I would think I agree, like dealing with multiple personalities and just, understanding like where they're coming from, like mentally, like their age and stuff. Maybe if somebody would have told me, you wouldn't even understand until you really experience
It's
it.
so true.
So
It's so true, especially, I mean, I wasn't super young, but I was still a young mom. I was
Yeah.
21 when I had my
Yeah.
first kid.
Me as
So,
well.
you know, you weren't going to be able to tell me anything at that point.
Mm.
Especially if I, you know, coming from my mom with not having the respect for the way that she parented, I definitely wouldn't have taken that into consideration at all, I don't think.
Do you feel like either one of your daughters have ever roasted you in a way that kind of like was like, you know what, you got me on that one. You got me. I'm kind of proud of that one.
Definitely.
All the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like me and Shayo have that relationship where we roast each other all the time.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
so.
I'm like, you are my daughter. Like when she
I
says
know.
something, I'm like, damn, that was good. Like you are my daughter. But it's also like that. Well, Dan was the first one. I know, you know, he's not my daughter, but literally, I'd be bartending and I would say something, and it was like very matter of a fact, and then he would just like, really, mom, is that what you mean? You know, like he would come back at me, and I would be so proud of him. I would show people, I'm like, look at what my son just texted me, because it would be so funny. I'm like, that's my baby.
Yeah, you gotta have that relationship with your kids, right? To where they can
Mhm.
roast you and put you in your place in that little way. Like,
Yeah, I think it's really about finding balance
Yeah.
because I do believe that the reason that my kids are the way they are is because I actually saw who they are and had the patience, even though sometimes it would drive me
It's hard,
crazy,
but-
just to let them be who they are
yeah.
without pushing what I want for them on them. You know, you can make suggestions, but it's not gonna, if
You
it
gotta
doesn't
let
go your
them-
way, right, then you're gonna be upset if you're like really trying to push them to do something. So sitting back and watching things unfold, whether it be good or bad, it's like the hardest thing.
Yeah, while you guide them into life.
Yeah.
And into,
Yeah,
say it,
sometimes you
say
just
it.
know, like they're running into the flames, and you're like, why? But they
But
have to
they
do
have
it.
to learn, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
fostering their relationship with anything your kids love is like super important.
Absolutely.
Know?
And it teaches them confidence.
Mhm.
If they can't experiment and experience life for themselves, where are they going to ever find their confidence
Yeah.
to know, like, okay, I can mess up and come back home and everything's going to be okay because I am loved. You know, like sometimes with Javante, he'll snap at me and like I don't think anything of it, but everyone around me is like, hey, and I'm just like, yeah, that wasn't cool actually. But you know,
I get that often too because they do say little rainbow. She's like, I hate you, and I'm like, I love you. They're kids. They're
They
not
don't
coming
know.
from a malicious place.
Mhm.
Mine are young, so
Yeah, they just want what they want.
Yeah,
And you're
they
like,
don't know
okay.
how to. They're emotionally driven, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So speaking about that, let's get into some discipline versus gentle parenting. I feel like this is a big discussion in this day and age.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So let's get spicy. I kind of already know this one, but are you whooping them softly moms or talk it out types?
Talk it out, definitely. But that changed with me. When I was younger, my kids would definitely get spankings. Not like beatings like I
Yeah.
did, but like they would definitely get a little tap on the butt or maybe on the hand or a little cocotazo on the head, you know.
No, for sure.
But
I definitely raised Shael how I was raised.
right.
Getting my ass whooped, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And as I had the other kids, I was like, no, we're gonna, listen to them and hear them, and we're gonna figure this out, because they're again little humans. They have their days. We have our days, that are not as
Definitely.
good. So
Yeah. Finding the patience, like sometimes with Javante, and he's like snapping at me. My older kids just sit there with their mouth open, like, is he gonna get away with that?
Wait, do they ever try to step
parent?
in?
Oh yeah, all the time,
Shayo,
all the time.
Yeah.
Which sometimes I am grateful for because
Yeah.
sometimes because I am home all day every day, not all day every day, but like a lot more. I don't just go clock in at work, so I'm doing a lot of work from home. So Javante is just with me pretty much all day, and it's constant repetitive conversations and the begging and the pushing. And so sometimes I am tired and I'm just like, I don't want to do this right now. And then I'll see that my older kids will be like, hey, Javante, listen to mom or whatever.
Got mama's back.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, thank you. Yeah, but definitely totally different parenting style than I had in the beginning. So it's kind of cool with my older kids that they've been able to experience also a softer side of me.
Yeah.
You know, which is good. But I definitely have apologized to all three of them. Like, I'm sorry if I messed up as like a young mom.
I constantly am apologizing again because I'm not always in the right. And,
yeah.
You know, I love them. I don't, I get it. It's hard.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, none of us are perfect. And that's something that I've always talk to my kids about, especially when they want to save their friends and they're like, oh, so-and-so's mom is this and that. I'm like, first of all, you don't know both sides of the story, and second of all, we are not perfect. We don't know exactly what we're doing either. Like, we're trying to figure life out too. So parents are gonna mess up, they're gonna say the wrong thing, they're gonna snap. But the important thing for us in our household, because I know even with Elijah, he's experienced the same thing where you do lose your patience. And we can't beat ourselves up over that. As long as we're then, I'm sorry.
I'm doing better.
This is what happened. And I did lose my patience, but you were still wrong for what you were doing. But I shouldn't have lost my patience, So taking accountability, and that also teaches them to take accountability.
I tell my kids that all the time. You have to take accountability.
Absolutely. Yep.
So let's be 100% honest. I'm sure some of you can see the difference in some children that you've seen in your life or just out in the world. Do you think that the gentle parenting is really the best way to go, and that's really should be the new common change, or not necessarily gentle parenting to the extreme, but just opposed to how we were raised?
I think it is the best and new way to do it, right? Because it doesn't have to it should be kind of like a merger, in my opinion, right? Like, you can be soft unless you really have to be hard, but you don't have to just be hard right away. Like that is an exercise on us and our patience of like, how can we figure out how to get to our children, with them understanding us without us losing our patience. And I do believe that it is really good for them to learn how to move in the world, to know their autonomy, what they should and shouldn't put up with. This is their stage where we're setting them up for life. So if we're always just beating them down like we were, then how do we expect them to move in the world? Then they have to navigate this whole new thing if they don't want to just be the push around. Like, I don't want my children to be the yes man. I want them to be kind and nice and loving and thoughtful and all the things, but I don't want them to feel like they don't have a voice. So I think that was something I didn't learn until my 30s. I was well into my motherhood before I found my voice because I wasn't allowed to have one as a child. And I don't want my kids to ever experience that. I don't care if they're 9, 12, 17, or 23. I want them to be able to know that they have the right to stand up for themselves if they're not being treated well. And if we're always just constantly rough on them and beating them down, how are they going to learn that? Because it's a like a authority figure, right? Or respect your elders type of thing. And yes, respect your elders, but know when it's okay not to as well.
No, I tell my kids. I mean, my kids. There's times where they're like, "Mom, I don't like that you did that," and I'm grateful for them because I give them that environment that they can come talk to me because I couldn't talk to my parents about things I didn't like or, like
literally.
Ever.
I would hide everything from my mom because I couldn't talk to her, and the only thing that taught me to do was to be sneaky and good at being a liar. And I put myself in a lot of situations that I maybe would not have if I could have been honest with my mom.
Mhm.
Like, I love the fact that with my children that they can talk to me about anything.
Yeah.
They're not embarrassed. Like, sometimes Alyssa says things to me and I'm like, oh my God, why did you say that? I don't need to know that. I'm happy that she's
Open
comfortable
enough,
to say these things, but also some things you could leave to
yeah. I just want to be a
leave
safe
behind the
space.
scenes.
Yeah.
You know. But I feel like it is the way it should be. Our children should know that they are humans and they're people and they count and their
Right.
feelings matter. So
We're not gonna beat on them for making mistakes.
yeah, exactly. Last night, Javante was trying to make himself some food and he dropped a bowl and it broke. And he had this emotional outburst. And I'm like, what is going on? Why are you so upset? And he's like, I don't want to get punished. I'm like, first of all, who said you were going to get punished? Nobody's ever punished you for accidentally breaking something,
Yeah.
you know? But he was like tired and emotional. And that was his little like, rah, you know? And I'm like, calm down. It's just a bowl. Like, it's not the end of the world at all.
He was probably hungry. Was he making food?
He was making food, yeah, because I was tired.
Bro.
So I had him at the lake all day, and I spent all day before that cooking and cleaning and organizing it, everything ready for the lake, driving, being in the sun. Yeah, when I got home, I was like, you can make
Chill
yourself
mode.
something. Yeah. And he accidentally broke a bowl, and like, it was the end of the world, you know? And that's something so funny with kids. Like, they think it's so permanent, and you're like, it's not a big deal.
It's fine, right?
Tomorrow is a new day. In 5 minutes, it's a new day. Like, calm down.
I tell my kids, like, you know, have your little funny 5 minutes. Like, even with myself, like, I try not to dwell on things. And, like, you know, even if it takes longer than 5 minutes. Not about a bowl, but, you know, in general in life, like, you feel your emotions and let's move on. Like,
Yep.
It is what it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
So would you guys say that you take a different approach when it comes to the boys opposed to the girls? And if you do, could you explain a little bit?
I don't feel like I necessarily take a different approach because of their sex. I take a different approach for each child because
Yeah.
each child requires something different. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like with Alyssa, I don't have to beat around the bush with her. Like, she doesn't take things personal. So if something needs to be done or she's messed up and, you know, did the wrong thing or whatever, I could just talk to her and be like, hey, that wasn't cool. Please don't do that again. This is the expectation. And she's just like, okay, I understand. And then she fixes it. It's like so easy. But yeah, it's not like that with every kid. With every kid, it's
again
just
different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think again with you, like the boys, I don't parent by sex. I parent by who they are. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I have a little bit. My older son, Ziggy, he's a little bit more emotional, and you know, I gotta talk to him a little bit more, and like get him to understand little things, so he doesn't get upset because he's like, I'm in trouble. I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, you're not disappointing me. Like, you know. So just navigating each kid, you know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So how do you guys create the safe balance between creating a safe space, but also having your own boundaries as well? Like you were kind of saying before, sometimes you feel like you're in situations where it's like, you could have left that part out, Alyssa.
I'll literally tell her. Because yeah, sometimes she, I don't know. Sometimes I think like she just likes to feel her more wild side of like, I don't know, just being raw, and I'm just like, I didn't need to hear those words come out of your mouth. I'll say it to her. You know, it's just kind of how it is. But
I don't know. My kids are young, you know, younger. So I mean, tell me everything. At this point, you know, no secrets. Just tell me everything.
You might feel like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I haven't. Look, my oldest is 16, so I haven't. You know?
Yeah, no, it's like, okay, like I know she's 18. I know she's sexually active. We've talked about birth control and being safe and,
Yeah.
you know, all the things like that. But then she might make a comment, Elijah, close your ears. One day she was like, balls smell weird. And I was like, I don't need to know that. And she's like, oh, come on, like you don't
But
know.
they
And I'm like,
do.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So like, why are you saying that to me? I already know that you're sexually active. I don't need to know
I
those
think
types
this
of
is
details.
this is the definition of now you're her little friend, right?
Yeah.
Like your
Yeah.
mom, but I get it. Like,
Yeah,
yo,
I was just like, oh my god, like
was
I already
shocked.
know you're doing your thing, but like that might be a little too far for me right now when I'm sober.
gosh.
If I was drunk, maybe not, but I'm sober right now. Not that I'm drunk all the time or anything, but you know, like yeah, I don't know. It
Like,
was a little
prepare me,
like,
like,
oh
I'm
my
gonna-
god, I was not ready for that at all.
Like, hey, just next time, give me a disclaimer. Like, I'm about to say something off the wall. Like, do you want to hear it right now? Or
It's like you guys are all
Never.
folding towels and
Never.
stuff, and she's like, you know
Yeah.
what, Mom?
We were literally in the
Balls
kitchen.
smell weird.
I know. She's like doing dishes, and I'm like cooking or something, and she was just like, "Wow!" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" I wasn't ready for that at all.
So let's go ahead and roll into the next segment. This is going to be identity and womanhood in 2025. So, as far as your perspective going now, what does raising a woman mean to you in your household?
confidence, smart, kind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this world is hard, like hard as fuck. So I just want to raise a very confident woman who knows that
Her worth.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and the world is hers. You know, and just to, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think for me, I don't want her to ever feel like she has to fall into a box. I want her to do whatever makes her happy, follow her joy. I literally got her a sticker when she was like 13 that said, "While well-behaved women seldom make history." And she was like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "Think about it. Well-behaved women, oh, you're a good little girl, seldom make history." So be wild, have fun, have experiences, travel, do all the things, you know, that are going to help mold her into being who she is, you know? And I just want her to have it all. Anything that she wants, I want her to have and I want her to experience. And I already see who she is as far as her being kind. She's respectful. She loves her friend. She's constantly putting out, you know, good vibes and love, and she does have really strong boundaries, and that makes me really proud of her because I didn't have that when I was her age at all. You know, I'm just really, really proud of the woman that she's become, and I do believe that a lot of that was just by letting her be who she is.
Yeah, and just loving her.
Yeah, and just loving her, like my kids. Exactly. I think my kids always know that no matter what, I will have their back.
Yeah.
Whether we're arguing or not, which luckily doesn't happen too much, but you know, they do trust me, and not just me, Elijah too.
Yeah.
You know, I think that they're confident in who they are, who they're becoming, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, for sure.
My sister, I was talking to her about somebody doing something, getting a car or something, and she was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be so sad when Dominic becomes an adult, or when he starts, you know, doing all the things on his own. She's like, I don't know how you do it. And I was like, I do it because when I see them experiencing this joy and feeling good about themselves and feeling confident and all the things that, you know, kids are going to experience growing into adults, and I see them, that brings me joy. You know,
well, I remember
we have to let go at some point.
Yeah. I remember we had that conversation. I'm like, oh, you know, was Shia working? And I'm like, how did you do it? Because me, I'm like, this world is fucking crazy. I want to keep you. I'm like, anyways, but we had the conversation, and you like, you know, you helped me see that they do need to just like not hold their hand all the time. You
Mhm.
know, they're gonna go. Like, why not? You know, help.
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing is, it's like if you can walk that fine line of being a mom and a friend, I don't think it's a bad thing to be your kids' friends as long as they have respect for you as their mom as well.
Right.
So it's a really fine line, and I've definitely blurred that line before and had to fix it, because we've talked about, like,
Yeah.
you don't know until you find out, right? So, the biggest thing that you can do for your kids is to just let them know that no matter what, you love them and you're going to be there for them.
Yeah.
And everything else is fixable.
Yeah.
There's nothing's permanent. Nothing is permanent except for death. So just don't die and we can fix anything. It's fine.
How are you guys teaching your daughters to keep it balanced with beauty, confidence, and womanhood all at the same time?
I haven't
I
had
just
to worry about that.
Yeah. I know. I mean, balancing, not necessarily all that, but just balancing like life, you know, like friends and
Yeah.
like school and like I said, child, like wanting to work, and it's like there has to be a balance, right? And
Yeah.
priorities, which is more important, you know.
Yeah, I think I remember when Alyssa was in elementary school, not even junior high school. She was in elementary school. I think she was like 5th grade, and some kid was like, "You should wear cover up because the skin around your eyes are dark." And she was like, "I don't care if you like the way that I look." And I was like, "Damn, that's good." Because if I was her age and someone said that to me, be it boy or girl, I probably would have like wanted to die inside,
Yeah.
This one.
This one. Okay.
So,
But yeah, like
it's just like it really surprised me and it made me feel so proud of her. Like she's like her own little old lady already, and I have no other girls to compare her to as far as children go. I tell people all the time, I'm like, I just lucked out with her. Like she's so organized. She really cares about who she is and what she does and who she surrounds herself with and how she represents herself in the world. And like, she's just amazing. She blows my mind. And
that's true.
Like, I don't even know if I could take credit for any of that because I don't know. She just does her thing. And I just sit back and I'm like, wow, I'm in awe of her.
Like, that's
every
my
day.
daughter, right? Shayel's nuts, like,
isn't it amazing?
Because I'm like, girl, I was like, you know, like, I love you.
Yeah,
keep
I
doing
was
that.
in the streets, like causing havoc, running from the cops, drinking 40s. Like what kind of trouble could I get into because I was always lying and hiding things from my mom. So I was like, well, I'm gonna make the best of it
when I can, right? When I'm out.
Well, I didn't have guidance.
Yeah.
I did a lot of messed up things that I paid for because I didn't have guidance. I didn't trust my mom to like be open with her. So
yeah,
I'm
grateful. I'm grateful, Shayel, you know, like with the younger 2 girls, like she's a great role model, and you know they see her doing her stuff in high school, like, and like, oh, I love her, you know, and they're like, that's my sister, and I'm like, yeah, so she's definitely helping in that part too, you know.
Yeah, it's awesome. I know it's funny too because even with my boys who are older than her, they're also like, damn, Alyssa's killing it.
Shit,
like,
right?
She really is.
How do you guys feel like you approach the talks about dating and gender identity and sexuality and the you know I don't deal with it well, but the actual act, you know,
very
child,
open.
you know,
the shaboink.
yeah, that stuff.
I'm very open and matter of factly. I just don't, you know, see obviously like age appropriate. But it's like, why are we sugarcoating it? Keep it all the way 100. And,
exactly.
Like, it's our kids and prepare them for the fucking world.
Yeah. With Alyssa, luckily, well, she is dating her second boyfriend, but her first long-term boyfriend was 2.5 years. and they were just like so freaking cute together, and I really thought that they were going to get married. So for me, knowing him and him being the first and trusting him and her decisions with him, it was more so about protection than actually worried about, okay, what is she dealing with within this relationship of like abuse,
Right.
if it's mental, emotional, like I didn't have to worry about that. So it was really just more so, okay, get an app that's going to track your cycle, and it's going to tell you when you're fertile, and then abstain during these
this
periods of
time,
time, and because also we are holistic. I'm not going to have her on birth control.
Yeah.
Like that's not an
that's
option,
not what
right?
we're doing.
So just letting her know, like, okay, you can use neem oil, track yourself,
Right.
make sure he's wearing a double glove,
Other than that, have fun though.
Yeah, but so she had it was for high school. She had to ask me some questions, and it was like, I don't know what class it was for, but one of the questions was, what would you do if I came home and told you I was pregnant? I was like, well, the first question I would ask you is, do you want to have this baby?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I didn't really expect for you to say that. I'm like, it's your body.
Yeah.
So, if you're not ready and willing to bring a life into this world, then you shouldn't. And I'm not saying like use the A word as birth control, but I also am a firm believer that if you don't want a child, what kind of parent are you going to be?
Yeah.
What life is that child going to have?
Yeah.
Like, some people really shouldn't be having kids.
No, they shouldn't.
It's a job.
Yeah.
And you have to take it seriously. So, not that I don't think she would be a good mom, but she has so many aspirations for her future. And I don't think that if it happened, it would have been her just throwing caution to the wind.
Right.
Like, oh, well, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would, I told her, I'm like, that would be my first question, is your body. And I think that made her feel really good that I wouldn't have been mad or shamed her, been angry or any of those things. So
that's so important, because the world we live in, it's like you said, it's your body, your choice. Just make sure that's what you want to do. And I try to shame women, but
yeah. In the end, we're the ones that have the babies, that have to, we put our bodies through all that, and then we're connected to those children. More than likely, 99% of the time, they're with the mom if anything happens. So, it's a full-time, lifelong commitment.
Yeah, like you said.
Yeah. You got to make it work.
Yeah.
And it's not easy all the time. So,
is it ever easy?
Maybe if you have a lot of money and you can pay someone to do all of your other household stuff, and you could just hang out with your kids all day. Like, oh, the dinner will be ready and the grocery shopping will be done and the house will be clean. Like, yeah, maybe it would be easy then. But that would probably always bring its own set of issues, I guess. Yeah.
So how do you guys help your daughters navigate the difference between attention and actual self-worth?
Like attention from other people? Is that where...
Yeah. Just like if someone's just kind of giving them attention because of their looks, and they're not really interested in them and their self-worth. They're just kind of around because it's a beautiful girl, or she's a smart girl, or she's just a female in general. Like, some dudes just want to be around females because they're female.
Yeah. I think just letting her know that, like, taking care of herself and loving herself first, because like, we love you, and hear, and you love yourself. Like, people are going to always speak and say things that you want to hear, but you got to just make sure those people are discernment.
Yeah, have your best intention at heart. Yeah. Alyssa definitely went through a period where she had a lot of more like male friends than female friends, and I'll just be blunt about it. I'm like, are you sure he doesn't like you? And kind of try and bring more attention. Like, there was this one kid that she was like, "Oh, we're just friends," and he was like, "Oh, I'll come over and do your dishes," which was her chores at night. And I'm like, "He's definitely likes you," and she was like, "No, we're just friends." I'm like, "No boy is gonna come to your house at 9:30 at night to do your dishes for your whole family. Like, no, no." So I guess part of that would be having a close and open relationship so that they feel comfortable to talk, and then you can kind of be like, "Well, this is what I see, but you're the one that's around them more, so you're gonna know better than I do." You gotta say stuff like that sometimes. But this is what I'm seeing, so just pay attention.
Yeah.
But I think as far as Alyssa knowing her self-worth, she knows. Like, she knows.
Yeah.
She does know. And that's part of us as parents being like, "Oh, you're so smart. You're so brave for handling this situation," or whatever it is, and kind of help building up
Their confidence.
self-confidence. And confidence comes with, I think it's hand in hand with your self-worth. So if you don't have confidence, I think it's going to be hard for you to have self-worth. But yeah, she, like I said, she just surprises me every day. So I feel just so fortunate that, like, I hear parents talk about some of the things they go through with their kids, and I'm like, oh my God, thank God I don't have to deal with that.
Like,
I'm so lucky.
Yeah. When people say stuff like, "Oh, my kid," I'm like, "Oh, what kind of parent are you?" Because like I don't deal with
Why
that.
does your kid hate you? No, but even with Alyssa, like, she gave up social media like 2 years ago. She's like, I'm done with
Oh my
it.
gosh, in high school too, at 16?
Yeah, she does not wear makeup. She dresses however she wants to
I
dress.
know.
She's not like trying to show her body off all the time. And she's athletic, like, she has a nice body, but she's not like, this is my worth. I need to have all my shit hanging out or wearing a bunch of makeup. She does what makes her happy.
Yeah.
And that is incredible. So, yeah.
What do you want your daughter to know about womanhood that you feel like you had to learn the hard way?
Don't settle. Don't settle. Just do what makes you happy every day. And make your own path. Like, your own way,
With me, I feel like I just let her know it's hard. Like, it's difficult. Everything is challenging, right? Nothing in life comes easy. But I didn't, get that growing up. Like, I was a baby. Everything was like given to me. So it's like, oh my God, I gotta go here and work. No, work was cool, but it's like, wow, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work.
And to maintain everything, and just life in general. So just letting her know that.
Yeah.
But I mean, she sees it. I don't have to let her know. She sees the grind and the hustle that I do all the time. So
yeah, and that, I think too, like, we need to take a little credit for that then too, as far as like our kids and the way that they are, that they see what we're doing and they're learning from our actions.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm talking to my friends, I'm like, "Oh my God, Alyssa, blah, 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 blah," and they're like, "Yeah, that's because of you." And like, you don't see that sometimes.
No,
then it's like, "Yeah, because she sees you, Mom," and I'm like, "Yeah, maybe." But I guess the amazing part of that is not having that wall up to where they're like, "Oh, my mom's the enemy," so they can see us.
Yeah. And they see us as humans and like us going through life. Yeah. It's not just mom, right? Like, she's a human. She's a mom. She goes through a lot and she's always there.
Yeah. And like, we're seeing them as humans, so it can be reciprocated.
Yeah.
We're their mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. Just a quick little side note. My family is all messed up, and my brother hated my dad. He never met, not never met my dad, but like, him and my mom got divorced when he was like 2. So my brother never knew my father except for what my mom would tell him, of my father. And when I look at my brother, I'm like, they talk the same, they move the same, they have the same mentality. And I'm like, oh my, you're like a carbon copy and you don't even know him.
Isn't that crazy how that works?
It's crazy. Yeah, DNA is pretty interesting.
Do you ever feel like your social media is judging your motherhood 24/7?
No, and I wouldn't care if they
I
did.
know. I know. I don't care.
Actually, as I went to
No.
read that, I was kind of like, you know what?
They don't give a
We
fuck.
don't
We
give
don't
a
give.
fuck. Nope.
Well, not even that. I feel like you guys don't really, except for the few moments where it's big stuff. Like you guys don't really put your kids out there on social media like that. So
No.
Not
social media
anymore,
doesn't
no.
know your motherhood side of you.
No.
You know what I mean? They just know more of the business and active side of you.
Yeah.
You know,
But
they don't know
those
what's
who
going
know
on at
us
the house.
know.
Yeah. Those who know us know.
Our kids
we
know.
never stop talking about our kids.
I know.
How are you, Jess? Well, Dan just blah 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, but I asked about you. No.
So there's this thing called mom guilt. Do you guys ever feel like that, especially when you're stretched too thin? And you're kind of like you were saying, just kind of like sometimes when you're at work but you're at
I'm
home,
Yeah.
and you got to kind of be like, I can't right now. Like,
Yeah. I would definitely say that I do feel bad sometimes, but also I have to remind myself that I'm not like not hanging out with him because I don't want to. And I'll tell him that too. I'm like, Javante, I know it's hard for you to understand because you see me that I'm home, but I am working. And I'm sorry that I can't spend this time with you, but I'm working. It's not because I don't want to spend time with you. And I have to literally say it like that. And I hug him and, all the things, and I do apologize. But yeah, I would say that there's definitely a little bit of guilt to that because he's 9. He doesn't really understand, what it takes to run a business. And he does see me home. So, but I also have a completely different relationship with him than I did with my other kids because I was never home with them.
Yeah.
Not never, but like I worked nights, I worked weekends, I worked holidays, I was bartending.
Yeah.
And I afforded them a different type of lifestyle because I had the monetary means to do so. We did everything and anything that they wanted on their days off. If they wanted a brand new $90 video game, they got it the day it came out. I didn't have to think about those types of things. But what I paid for was time away from them, So the time I had with them was like, I felt like I had to make it the best time in the world. And it was always about, what can I do to make this the happiest, funnest day? And then Javante, it's more of like, sorry, I can't. But it's like all day because I don't really have like a day off.
Right.
I might not have anything planned for tomorrow, but I might wake up to 3 people wanting meetups and this person wanting, and then it's like my day opens up and I have to do it because that's my business. So yeah, there's definitely some guilt that goes along with that, but I know it's not like neglect.
Right.
So I have to like remind myself it's not neglect. It's just the way things are right now.
Right now, yeah. I don't I don't have any guilt. Like
That's
I really
good. Like I bust my butt for you guys.
So when I do for me and I'm doing for me because it's so important to pour into ourselves. And, I'm very firm on that. Like it took me a while. Yeah. It took me a while to get there. I was pregnant with Lila, she's 7 now, and I'm like, I gotta put myself first. Like I'm like going mentally insane, and so never because it's not all the time. It's not like for days on end, that I'm doing for myself because still gotta do for them, So and
that's one thing that I'm very grateful for my ex-mother-in-law, that she was the first and only woman that ever was like, kiss yourself, love yourself. Yeah. Nobody's going to love you the way that you love you. And I was so young when she would say those things to me. It didn't even click. I didn't even know, like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know what you're saying to me right now. Because the way that I was raised was like, give everything. Give your all. What you want doesn't really matter. Like people pleaser. And that was associated with childhood trauma. I was literally in my 40s already when I was taught that that's a trauma response, to be a people pleaser. And I was like, oh my God, that makes total sense. Yeah. Now, I went through a real transformation in my life over the last couple of years where I'm just not making myself feel guilty anymore about pretty much almost anything.
No.
Not saying I'm perfect, but like sometimes you just have to do what you need to do for you, and it's too fucking bad.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take care of you the way that you need to be taken care of, then how
are you
is
going to
that
take care of
work?
them?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to take care of anything else? Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a crazy thing that you learn just as you get older and you know more people and you have more experiences, and like, yeah, how much life just changes and morphs into what it is. Like every day is different. Every day is new.
Yeah.
I love that about life.
Alrighty, everybody, we're going to take a quick break real quick, but we're going to be right back.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny.
Oh no, it doesn't matter.
Yo, what's up, man? It's your favorite podcast host, Mr. Elijah Lee.
Elijah Lee, make sure you check out Work with Generations every Saturday at 1 o'clock. Where? HobariEntertainment.com, of course, or you can catch us on Facebook or YouTube. Just check out Hobari Entertainment. Check it out on YouTube. Follow them. Facebook. Follow them. Subscribe. Hit the website. Don't forget, though, it's me, your favorite podcast host, Mr. Elijah Lee, and Wealth for Generations comes on every Saturday, 1 o'clock. Peace.
Hey y'all, it's Mama Soul's Fish and Chicken, Hawaiian sponsor. Let's go get it.
Man, this Mama Soul's Fish and Chicken. I ain't never had a piece of fish that tastes so good. I'm not a shrimp person, but they fried shrimps. It's so good. It's so good. The dressing and the greens and the cornbread.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Aisha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
Because they try to
Welcome.
a couple things
Has
and bag everybody.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. So, we are running a little on time. Sorry, excuse me. Pardon me. But if you guys are liking what's going on, you're feeling the discussion and everything, and you want to continue watching, make sure to stay tuned. We're going to take a quick little break and end this episode, but we're going to be right back in, what do you guys think, like 10 minutes?
I
yeah,
don't need to
I'm
wait that long.
No, I don't either.
Okay, so we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. We're going to just wrap up this show, and then we'll be right back. So everybody that's viewing right now, this is the time for your break. If you didn't take a break during the commercial break, go get some water, go pee, go hit your pen, whatever you got to do, you know, and we're going to be right back in a little bit. But at this moment right now, I got to do my official peace.